Hey, I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm making another video. For those of you who are new, these are super basic, unscripted, unedited videos that I do each week when I do my testosterone shot as a way for me to check in with the process, check in with life, check in with whatever changes that I've experienced so far. So today is 18 weeks since I've started testosterone. I hit 4 months a couple days ago. So that math checks out pretty good. Sorry if it's bouncing. I just have my computer sitting on my desk. And I wanted to do a little check-in about how I'm doing right now because it's not great. It's not great at all. I have been struggling with my mental health with the changes that are happening because of all the changes in the world with COVID-19. It's been really rough having to close my business and then change my business and then do it all alone. And there's just a lot of complicated stuff with that. And then at the same time, just changing routines, not being able to do my normal things that I normally find comfort in, like going to the coffee shop and sitting and reading a book, going to the library, going to the bookstore, going anywhere besides work and home. I miss those things, and losing some of those routines has been extremely difficult. Not knowing what's coming in the future has been extremely difficult. And part of that is because not only am I trans, but I am also autistic. And I haven't really talked about that a lot, and I don't talk about it a ton, except on my blog. And I have been trying to write a blog for 2 or 3 weeks now about some of the challenges with life changing right now, specifically with how I think it's interacting with some of the challenges caused by being autistic. I think the biggest challenge is losing routines, changing schedules has been so difficult for me. I already struggle to keep a normal routine, and changing that has just thrown off everything. I feel like the little teeny bit of executive function I have is gone. I'm forgetting really important things every day. I'm struggling to do laundry, to do dishes, to basically do anything except for the basic work I need to do each day and play Animal Crossing. Those are like the only things I can do right now. I can't make myself food. Uh, Everything is hard. I can't sleep. I can eat if someone puts food in front of me or if I buy it from somewhere, but I'm really struggling in just about every area of my life right now. I have managed to keep working enough with my business. Every day, I have a new routine I've had to make, and now that it's been going for a little while, it's definitely getting easier, but the first week or so of figuring out what's going to work best was really, really hard. Now I have a new routine of basically getting to sleep later, which is good because I'm really struggling to fall asleep and stay asleep at night, and I wake up anxious in the middle of the night, which is not something that has happened in a long time. That used to be my norm for my entire life until a year, 18 months ago, when I started getting some better bedtime habits and I started taking a very small dose of melatonin each night and I got weighted blankets. All the combination of those things helped me to sleep normally for the first time in my entire life. And it was really, really wonderful. And now it's gone. Now, I'll be in bed at 11, but not asleep until 1 a.m. I'll be tossing and turning, restless legs. I'll wake up anxious, panicking in the middle of the night. So that's all really fun and has made transition stuff kind of fall to the side, which I've talked about in the last video. Was it last night or the night before? It was 2 nights ago. I had a meltdown for the first time in a really, really long time, which is not something I like to talk about. They used to be more common. And now I recognize them for what they are. I didn't know what they were for a long time, but it would feel like everything would freeze up and I wouldn't be able to talk, and I could barely even think in words. Usually I only get like a phrase stuck in my head or a word stuck in my head. and it takes a lot to kind of break out of that. Now I understand that that is a common experience among autistic people that is called a meltdown. And that happened for the first time recently. And my partner is amazing and helps me through that. And yeah, so there's been so much going on in more transition related stuff. So I think autism over here. Now we're going to go to transition related stuff, even though these things are so intricately tied. I today I was in the car. You can't see it on here. This camera's not nice enough, and my lighting is terrible because I'm in my bedroom with just my crappy overhead light. It's not good lighting. Someday I'll do these better. But I have this little bit of chin hair, and I shaved 2 days ago, and I have chin hair, and I was in the car, and it was like annoying me. I was like, I just shaved. So I'm getting a lot hairier. I even noticed on my arms are getting hairier. It used to just have hair up here. Now there's hair over here. Hair. I am becoming a hairy man, I guess. I don't know. The acne is really bad right now. Really not great. Let's see. What else? I'm still hungry all the time. I'm so hungry. It's very hard to manage. It's hard to recognize. See, right here, autism, trans, they just combine. I have a hard time recognizing my feelings and what I need in my body until they are like extreme, until I'm extremely thirsty, extremely hungry. I just don't notice those things. I don't notice my feelings until they're extreme as well. So being more hungry and being unable to recognize the hunger until it's really extreme can be really hard and lead to me being exhausted all the time because I'm not realizing that I'm tired because I haven't eaten enough calories today. Because sometimes I'll eat a small breakfast and then I won't eat for hours and hours and hours and hours. And I feel really tired and run down and angry. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I need to eat lunch. And then I go eat a sandwich and I'm like, hey, everything's great again. Life is fine. Everything's fine. And that whole time I was just hungry for hours. So those combos of traits are not great. I've been trying to really let myself indulge in the things that bring me joy, which is another part of the autistic experience. I'm wearing my J-Pod shirt right now. One of my biggest interests is orca whales, and more specifically the southern resident killer whales, which live along the coast of Washington State and British Columbia primarily, but they move around. And even more specifically, J-Pod is some of my favorites, and I have seen all of these guys in person on some of my visits to the San Juan Islands. Some of them I can recognize, even though I haven't been up there in a few years, so I'm probably a little rusty. But like, this is gonna sound probably kind of, boring, but watching the videos on the orca pages of the whales and how they're doing and people getting to see them, even though all the tours and everything are stopped, there's no whale watching boats right now, which is awesome. The wildlife like needs a break from all the boat traffic. It's really detrimental to them, but people are still seeing them from beaches and shores and docks and other places and posting their videos online, and that's really cool. Another thing that brings me a lot of joy is Christmas and Christmas lights, and I have these Christmas lights that I leave up in my bedroom because they make me happy. Letting myself just go deep into Animal Crossing. Today I'm taking a break. I'm taking a little breather from Animal Crossing. I don't know how many hours I've played. My Switch will tell me that, but it's a lot. Not as much as some of my friends who have played even more because some of them have no work right now. So they just have Animal Crossing time. So, that's the main way I'm coping, is just letting myself do what I need to do to survive each day, to not put too much guilt on not being productive, allowing myself to not be productive, understanding that when life is stressful and we're learning new habits and new routines, it takes a lot of energy and it makes us very tired, even if we're not doing necessarily physical things, though today I did physical things, started working on our very, very overgrown yard. Yeah, so just understanding why things are, as hard as they are, helps me to cope a little bit. Understanding that, yes, it is normal to be stressed out, for anyone to be stressed out, confused, sad, grieving. All of these things are completely normal right now. And it's normal for someone who struggles with anxiety and is autistic to feel those things really intensely. And it's okay if you don't normally struggle with those things and you aren't, autistic. Also to struggle with those things. It's hard when, so much of your time and energy is taken up with how do I live during a pandemic, that all of your thoughts about gender just kind of fade away until someone misgenders you, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, really stressful thing that happened this morning is that my business keeps having people blocking the door because next door to us is a recycling center, which was one of the only things open in Portland right now. And the line gets so long, there'll be 50, 60 people waiting to go in and return their bottles for 10 cents a bottle. And they all have to space 6 feet apart, so it's a very, very long line, and it crosses in front of my door, and I have to walk up and yell to people like, hey, you need to move, you need to create space so that I can safely walk through and get in my business. And people will move a little bit, and I'll just, have to go through because there's nothing else I can do. And some guy comes up to help me with the door and says, Miss, let me help you with the door. And I say, no, give me space. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, in one interaction, putting my physical health at risk, putting my mental health at risk, and misgendering me all in one lovely interaction. My video got cut off because my phone ran out of space. So while I was waiting for it to upload to the cloud and make more space on my phone, I went ahead and did my shot off camera, which is probably for the best because I'm extra anxious and need to really pay attention to what I'm doing instead of talking about it while I'm doing it. So I just wanted to film a little end to that very long ramble about where I am, and thank you all for hanging in there and hanging out with me, the few of you who actually do, and just tell you all to hang in there and do what you need to survive and hopefully thrive in these very, very strange and stressful times. And most importantly, just give yourself a lot of grace for wherever you're at, whether you're able to get things done or you're not, whether you're anxious or you're not. It's okay. This is a very strange time. And that's the best thing I can say is it's okay. However you feel is okay. So hang in there. Peace.